There's only a few people like who have the good fortune of being able to have a 3D printer or technical backgrounds or skills and anything to contribute. As soon as I had that realization was when I realized like we need to form a coalition, we need to form a collective of some sort where it's multiple locations and multiple people. NYC Makes PPE is a coalition of New York City residents from all different backgrounds. We started out as a couple of makers who got together and decided to coordinate our efforts when it came to creating PPE, such as face shields, sewn masks, and the community has grown considerably since. I'm a member of Hack Manhattan, and in the organization, I'm one of the kind of representatives for the Hack Manhattan hackerspace.
As a grunt volunteer, I have been doing all of the different production tasks that are available, which include sewing fabric masks at home, and then going into my hackerspace NYC Resistor to operate the laser cutter to laser cut the plastic for face shields that have a 3D printed frame, packaging these up for distribution, and also making a second kind of face shield that has foam instead of the 3D printing.
There's a distinction between face masks and face shields. Face shields are the ones you see where it's a frame of some sort and plastic that covers the entirety of the face. Each makerspace typically has two representatives that we kind of serve as a board of directors. A lot of makerspaces were actually already looking at how to help the COVID-19 response with the PPE that was necessary. It was until March 19th when I actually contacted our neighbors at FatCaf App Lab and said, do you guys want to work together to see if we can kind of optimize how much output we can do by coordinating? And so we started a Discord chat. People kept joining this public Discord and saying, hey, I'm this person from this group. I have access to these resources and these supplies. What can I do to help?
I became involved because an email came in my box that said, here's volunteer opportunities. And I'm already a member of NYC Resistor. It's a member-run hackerspace where we usually run classes and community gatherings, but it's closed to the public right now. So it's a great place for turning into an ad hoc PPE factory. The physical process is it's pretty simple. I followed a pattern I found online that was published on Instructables by a nurse. It's called the AB mask, and it's like a pleated design with fabric straps that's designed to go over the N95 mask for healthcare workers to extend the life of those N95 masks. But you can wear it as a regular fabric mask too.
3D printed shields are the plastic shield and usually just a piece of 3D printed material, and the plastic is malleable. This one also requires the plastic to be pre-cut with holes. The whisk models are the ones that have foam and elastic bands to make the frame, and then the same plastic sheets as the rest of them.
When you like to sew, people know that you're a person who likes to sew, and if they find out you're making masks, they will ask you for some, but I also have been offering them in my building. I just, ask my neighbors and put some out for them. And outside, I can tell people need masks because they're not wearing masks. If they don't have a mask on, I don't think it's because they don't want to wear one. I think it's hard to find. I know the hardware store has been selling them for like $6 for a pack of 3 surgical masks, and they're disposable and only meant to be worn once. So by setting out the fabric masks, and folks have an opportunity to wash them and rewear them so they're not subject to the outrageous prices of the masks they can get. I like sewing, so it feels fun and satisfying to know that they're going immediately to people who are going to walk around my neighborhood, right? So it feels like it's protecting the health of myself and my community, but also it's just convenient and satisfying to put out the box and then see the mess disappear.
Everyone we made like that first order of whisk shields were really great. I think one of the first pickups that I was actually involved in was a medical student picking it up for her entire class or hospital section, and they were so grateful because apparently at the time they didn't actually have anything. They didn't have face shields, which has always been a really weird realization in the first week. And then everything else, like we've seen FDNY. FDNY was thankful for some of the sewn cotton masks that we delivered to them. And obviously it's no cost on them. It's everything we're doing is fueled by donations.
Crazy, awesome, inspiring initiative that I'm just one very small part of, but we're socializing the stats, right? Like over 20,000 pieces of PPE distributed at the time of this recording. And to know that yesterday with my boyfriend, we packed 650 of those that are going directly to healthcare workers to help protect them so that they can stay in the hospital longer without getting sick to help more patients.
GoFundMe is kind of like, I guess, the equivalent of our war chest right now. It's what lets us pay for all the materials, like assembly materials for the whisk shield would be the foam, the elastic bands, and the adhesives. The face mask initiative, which is using local sewers to put out batches of pre-prepared materials to be sewn, is also being funded by the GoFundMe as well.
You see a need and you try to do what you can to meet that need. You see a suffering or an opportunity. You should do what you can to help society move forward. If we're not going to get, it's clear we're not getting the type of leadership from the top down that everyone should feel empowered to participate, to help from the ground up. It's our only option.
We are documenting all the efforts we did here. We can take all that and tell adjacent makerspace communities all over the country or even the world that, hey, to help out your local area and your local hospitals, you just need to find these people with these resources and do this. Find the people who are helping. I think it's a Fred Rogers quote from Mr. Rogers. I think it was around week 3 when we finally established our first assembly line coming out of NYC Resistor, and we saw the bulk output we did. And obviously that's not possible unless you have helpers, you have good people who are willing to do it. So find people who are helping is definitely, I think, my mantra for this entire stage going forward.